Welcome everybody. In my last video about NIO Day, I mentioned that Firefly has been my personal highlight, so I want to expand some views and give you also my perspective. Alright, let's talk about NIO Firefly. Now I know Deutsche Bank recently put out a report saying that this car might only sell about 1,500 units a month, but I'm here to give you a different perspective, one that's a bit more bullish. Why? Because I think Firefly isn't just another small EV, it's a strategic move by NIO that could open up new markets, expand their customer base and ultimately drive growth. So let's break it down. First, let's set the stage. The A segment, small and affordable cars, has traditionally been dominated by models like the Toyota Aygo, Volkswagen Up and Hyundai i10. And these cars were all about being cheap and practical. But now the consumers want really more. They want safety, space and smart EV features. And that's where Firefly comes in. It's not just a car, it's a modern take on what small EVs can be. And I think this is where my personal thinking about Firefly has evolved after seeing the presentation on NIO Day. Because before that I always had something in mind like, the proposed 25K Tesla mass market type of car or something like this. But I think it's really something different with Firefly. I'm now beginning to think more of a kind of a Fiat Panda type of thing, something like that's very compact, stylish and functional. For example, talking about cargo space. Right, it's got 1,250 liters of cargo space plus a 92-liter frunk, so this is very impressive for a city car, and that's close to what a Fiat Panda has. And if you know, well, the Fiat Panda is kind of this very important and successful model in Italy, which is kind of the definition of a practical car that has lots of space while being very economic. And maybe that's also why it's called Firefly. Maybe NIO wants to give us a little hint there, because there's actually also a Firefly edition by the Fiat Panda, which has now also just gotten a new updated electric version. And to be honest, this new Panda model, I think, has also quite a controversial design. And I know there has been lots of discussions about the 3 lamp headlights and taillights designed by NIO for the Firefly design. And personally, I think they're kind of cute, and I think that's the whole point. This car isn't targeting the same audience as NIO's premium models, but I think also not entirely as maybe the Fiat Panda, which is maybe more male-oriented. So I think Firefly is going towards family drivers, urban families and first-time EV buyers. And let's be real, many of the critics are possibly males sitting behind the keyboards that really are not the ones who are making the ultimate purchase decision here. And so this is also getting me to the market potential where it's getting interesting. Firefly isn't just targeting one market, it's going after 3 markets in my opinion. First is the emerging second car market in China. So that's, I think, mainly also dominated by young females or families. That's exactly what I mentioned before, who this Firefly design is targeting to. That's in China. And cities are more crowded, families are looking for affordable, convenient options for short commutes. And second, it's undercutting players overseas like the BMW Mini and Smart by offering premium features at lower price. You see that Firefly is advertised with those smart parking functionalities. It will have a very interesting entertainment system and also in-car HMI, as well as cameras for some other functionalities. And third, it's opening up a new market for EVs below 30K. So essentially, it's making electric mobility accessible for a whole new target group of consumers. And so why Firefly matters for NIO? Well, from an investment perspective, Firefly is a big deal for NIO. It's not just about selling more cars, it's about expanding their reach. NIO has always been a premium brand, but with Firefly, they are tapping into the mass market in a sense, and they are doing it without diluting their brand image. How? By bridging cutting-edge technology, battery swapping, autonomous driving and parking, and their user-friendly ecosystem to a more affordable price point. But let's be clear, that's not going to be super easy. So in this A segment, it's a tough market. Profit margins are very low and consumers are price sensitive, especially with tariffs in place. So while it's targeting an audience overseas, I think it cannot be priced above 25,000 euros, for example. But NIO may be able to use its secret weapon here, battery swapping. Battery swapping enabled cars in China enjoy some tax benefits, and especially if they're now below 300,000 RMB, and in the future possibly this threshold will be lowered. So it's very important that now with Envoy and with Firefly, NIO is having cars that are definitely within this price range, and this might also at some point become feasible in Europe when battery swapping is established, and it will be possible for Firefly to separate the vehicle body from the battery, not only technically but also financially, enabling a lower purchase price in the beginning. And so why I am more bullish on Firefly and why I think this Deutsche Bank report might be too bearish is that I think the government incentives that I've just mentioned, the affordability with the lower upfront cost, plus this push towards urbanization, especially also in China, but then also in Europe with those special crowded cities where small EVs are perfect for short commutes and easy parking, all of that. And its youth appeal with this young, cute, stylish design and brand, and in combination with all of the convenience tech features and so on, I think that's a very good proposition. And in the bigger role for NIO's future, I think it could add, not only 200,000 to 300,000 annual sales in the long run, but also help NIO to scale up and expand their ecosystem. So it's basically a long-term growth plan here that will help drive and lure people into buying NIO cars ultimately, or Envoy cars. They have now those 3 different brands. And now, especially at this historically low valuation of NIO stock, it's a significant upside that Firefly could deliver here, because it's basically a free option play here, right? It's not priced into the stock, so it's giving you those potential upsides. It's just much more than a city car. It's a strategic move that could open new markets. It should expand NIO's customer base and drive growth. And for investors, while there's certainly challenges when it comes to scaling growth, margins, and profitability impact, I still think it's an overall positive that's currently not priced in at these valuations. So let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree or disagree? Thanks for watching. See you in the next videos.